Need any supplies? We've fewer mouths to feed now. In Tia's name.
Who's there? Please. A devil. We are paladins of Tyr.
One horn.
Then you know her. She's slaughtered. We were lucky to survive our encounter with her. She ran toward the river when she saw we were... She must pay for her.
This is the sword.
It's all I have. But it's yours, if you stop it. May the just... Well...
Bodies everywhere. Accident or sabotage? That might be worth a look.
Need any supplies? We've fewer mouths to feed now. In Tia's name.
Will catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
Listen to sense now. Don't want this to end badly for either of us. You know, Mod.
Shit, you really are. You would have...
Truce then.
Aye.
I'm Karlak. But you already knew that. Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill... Little background. You already know I fought in the Blood War. Turns out, I played along and Zariel liked it. So little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called... Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after. Then we can work on evicting this parasite and take Faerun by their I'd hug you if it wouldn't scorch your skin off. Hang on though. Looks like you've got enough backup at your side. Not sure there's room for me. I'll catch up with you when it's time to camp for now. But don't get to any of the fun stuff without me. Got it?
Now's not a good time. My hands are full. You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly. I can say only this. Karlak's not the only one who's had a villain's knife held. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted. You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say this. Well met. Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready, and just when things...
What can I do you for? Trust me, I'll tell you all about it after we take care of the goons on my tail. Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about? Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you? Oh, man! Lucky you! That's the dream! Maybe when this is all done, you can show me where you came from. My family home's long gone, but I'll show you my favourite chow hall in the city, if it's still standing. Yeah?
Fuck yes.
Soldier.
I'm still looking to shift some supplies. Don't have much to spare, but it's more than we can carry. In Tia's name.
Quite ready for you.
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Well, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
God's damn it. Anyone but her.
Well, you absolute stinker. You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlak meets the criteria, pet. Trust me on this. Don't you worry. That ship has long sailed the Styx. But a defiant pup must still pay his price. To wit.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet.
There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo.
Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
God's damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mizora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings. I'd count my lucky stars for it, but I reckon luck is on holiday. I'm only alive because my patron still has use for me. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden. Unless Mizora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mizora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was. Soldier. Help me kill those paladins of Tyr, and I'll tell you. A bit of good gossip for your good help. We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted. I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride. No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players.
Always a delight to speak with you. What can I do? I assure you it's not. Don't get me wrong. You did well. The somatic component, the verbal component, even the focus on the inner self that invites Mistra in. But I was still your conduit. To perform such a feat alone requires much and arduous study. Of course, as a warlock, your patron endows you with many such powers, otherwise unattainable. I do hope you cherish that gift.
What can I do for you, my friend?
Speak.
Fate, dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhap, as thou desire.
Something the matter? I know. I felt it. You wouldn't have been able to take it. The artifact has a will of its own. It'd fight back if it didn't want to be with you. I felt it go from me to you. You need its help, just as it needs us. It's still just a box, after all. Might not be possible. It's stubborn that way, prone to lashing out. Keep it for now. We can all help to protect it.
What can I do for you, my friend?
God's damn her straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent...
Warlock pacts tend to be unforgiving from what you know of them. Will was lucky he didn't face a more severe punishment.
All these years. You'd think it's a lesson I'd have well learned. It's Mazora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. The one little question that put me out of house and home. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mazora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mazora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was worth the sacrifice.
Hiya. Wasn't all that long ago. I never knew the whole of how and why, but I remember the devils slavering with delight. I should have looked after the Elterans more. Gone out of my way to make sure they were all right. The long and short of it was, I didn't want to risk my neck. I let them get on with the nightmare, same as I had to. But Avernus is no place for decent folk. I'm glad they got out. So glad. Help me kill those paladins of Tyr, and I'll tell you, a bit of good gossip for your good help. Yeah, let's go straight there. Whatever those fucks are getting up to, it's nothing good. Just to say, by the way, they're not really paladins. Lackeys of the Archdevil playing dress-up as paladins of Tyr. No honor among devils.
Ah, my favorite traveling companion.
Hang on. Those paladins I need to stomp are that away. Hey, we're still going after those paladins, right? Can't leave Zariel's bruisers roaming the coast. Good news. Can't wait to see them finished.
You brought her here. We won't survive another assault. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please. We just want to go home.
There's something in the squint of his eye. You suspect he's lying.
Enough! Enough! I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlak, you're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
Avernus was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back!
Should get started.
together. I need your help.
Nothing important is ever easy.
keep going.
Allow me to demonstrate. Pawn to cleric form.
Torment!
They burn.
Heading out.
Fuck them. Fuck Thariel. I won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash. That's right, she won't. She can't. She couldn't even lay a finger.
Don't give up now.
Don't be shy. What's cooking?
Whew. Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots.
Granted, the fire's lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look? Careful, soldier. If I burn any hotter, I might explode. Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells. Seems to be running in overdrive since I left Avernus. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close, till I've found a way to calm it down. High pain tolerance, and a dynamic duo of truly shitty bosses. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him. A weaponsmith, huh? Not sure if he's the guy, but I'd love to find out. A tune-up would do this rusty heart a world of good.
If you desire conversation, please do find someone else. Always a delight to speak with you. What can I do?
Better than nothing.
I don't suppose you've any clue where we are in relation to Waterdeep.
From this distance between Elturel and Baldur's Gate, I'd say a long way away.
Ah. That will make getting word to my mother rather tricky. No matter. What she doesn't know can't hurt her. Not at this distance, anyway. A long way from Waterdeep.
Hey, good looking. Never a dull moment.
Which way to the nearest library?
Still breathing, despite everything.
What now?
Be wary. This place is trapped.
Trap. Be cautious. Trap. Be cautious.
I'm way too big.
I'm way too big. I'm way too big.
Wanna dance? Easy. This place is hungry for blood. Aww.
Step carefully. There's a trap.
Let's move.
Step carefully. There's a trap. There's a pressure plate in the chair. But I'm missing something.
The air is ripe with magic.
Empty.
Looking ahead.
What a charmer. Easy. This place is full of blood.
Salutations.
No one stopped me yet.
No time to rest.
A nice little nap.
A scout just reported. The goblins' leadership has been decimated. We might escape this place yet. I took a collection from all of us. It isn't much, but you've earned it. It's not enough, but it's all we have.
Halsin will likely want to thank you too, mind. He returned just a while ago. I believe he's catching up with Korga. As for us...
No armies at our heels. Amazing. We can finally leave. But perhaps we need not speak of farewells. We'll join your camp tonight to celebrate if you'll have us.
Following downstream.
Fine, but you're carrying it yourself.
You saved us. I wasn't sure we'd make it through. I wish I had better.
So it's true.
But this is all I have. May Timora's luck twist your... What I wouldn't do...
May you keep balance.
Meet Temora's locked. Druids. Who uses wooden tools? Thought I sensed an infernal around here. But you aren't from Elturel. What's your story?
I spent a good bit of time in the Hells. Enlisted against my will by the Archdevil Zariel. Same as you, I suppose, if you're from Elturel. The devils were delighted when your city was swallowed up. I thought they had you for keeps. Glad you got out.
I got lucky. It looks like you did too. And you brought some infernal machinery with you.
A little gift from Zariel. Keeps me burning hot.
Very hot by the smell of it. Might be burning out a piston ring or leaking oil. Mind if I take a listen?
Be my guest. But don't get too close or your eyes will melt shut.
Phew! You really are burning up. Whoever put that engine together tried to house metallurgized demono valves inside a Ragnak's alloy casement. Very risky. I might be able to help, but I'd need infernal iron. And a prayer that my hammer will survive the work. That thing isn't meant to operate outside of Avernus. I'm not sure how much longer it'll keep running the way it's going.
Will you be able to turn down the temperature a little? Worried I'm gonna go in for a handshake and singe someone's arm off one of these days.
I'd worry about surviving the night first. But help one, help both. If we can cool you off, it'll stabilize your engine and allow you to touch whomever you please. I've sensed some during our travels. It has a pull to it. Absolutely magnetic, once you know what you're looking for. I can show you where I'd look. Meanwhile, I've still got plenty of weapons and armor in stock if you're looking to load up. Forged from the heart. I miss my forge.
Of course. It's a big city. Lots of opportunity.
Right tool will do the trick.
Shadow on your head forever. We're not in the clear yet.
You do good work. If you can handle more than goblins, might be I'll have use of you in Baldur's Gate. Always a deal to be done, even now. Try not to die up there.
Yes, you are. Now stop squirming.
Elturel didn't want us. And those druids sure as hell didn't I?
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Back to worrying about road rations it is. So So many mouths to feed, but, well, that's not a bad problem to have. Thank you, truly. Back to worrying about road rations it is. So many mouths to feed, but, well, that's not a bad problem to have. Thank you.
One sorrow ended.
Remember, find the river and follow it downstream.
I nearly dispatched those goblins myself, but... And why wield a masterwork where a butcher's...
A scout just report. No, but perhaps we need not speak of farewells.
With the goblins dead?
What do you think of opening a cart in Baldur's Gate?
A cart? Like on the street?
Exactly. Noble types won't want a tiefling cooking for them, but common folk.
A cart sounds fine, but do I have to haul it around?
Until we make the coin for a proper ox, maybe.
Right. All of our takings stashed away for the journey?
Yes, no? Don't price myself. If there's fighting,
But to be sure,
and you do not stop.
we need every last copper piece to get started in Baldur's Gate.
My horns, friend.
We're leaving. Now.
Wonder what's past this.
stop squirming.
We're not in the clear yet. Keep sharp until the standing on cobbles on Baldur's Gate.
Now, stop squirming.
You will make peace with all who shelter here. It is the will of Sylvanus. Oh, child, you have drifted far from the old father's teachings. I thought I had been a good teacher to you. Clearly not. You took it upon yourself to undertake the Rite of Thorns. I ought to exile you from this place. Forever. Instead, I shall listen to the explanation that you owe me.
I owe you nothing. Goblins swarmed us like roaches while you stumbled after the past. You chose to abandon us. I chose to protect us.
Silence! The rite has been ended. I will allow you to stay, but consider yourself a novice anew. You have forgotten the ways of the druids, our place in the natural order. You shall learn it all once again, right here. Backslide, and nature's fury will crush you.
As you wish, Master Halsin.
A misjudgment. One that should weigh heavily upon her. But the Grove still needs her passion. You will soon see why. But enough of that for now. I owe you my thanks. The Grove stands. Nature prevails. And again, I am in your debt. Speak to Wrath. He will reward you for your efforts. The journey to Moonrise Towers, and all the dangers that entails. But that's tomorrow's problem. Take some time for yourself tonight. Rest, celebrate. Come morning, I'll be by your side.
What of them?
They are our guests until they wish to leave, as I said the day they arrived.
They blinded you to truth. Outsiders bring only chaos.
And what have you brought? Harmony? Balance?
What did I tell you? How many will die the next time we throw open our doors? Doesn't feel the same.
You've done it. You brought Halcyon back. Thank you. No, thanks is not enough. May Sylvanus bless you for all your days. I cannot imagine taking on a camp full of goblins was a simple task. As am I. The grove will be whole again. And I promised you a reward, didn't I? Let me show you on your map where you can find the cache. Take this rune. You'll need it. Place it among the pedestals inside our library. When the wolf glows brightest, everything in the vault below will be yours.
Master Halcyon's home, by Sylvanus' mercy.
It might have been better if he'd stayed away.
Don't say that.
Come now. He took in those strays and then he just left.
He went to make sure those strays could go.
Have to tidy this place.
Blessed day. I was worried I'd never see Master Halcyon again. You kept your word. Thank you. I don't know if I can ever restore Sylvanus' peace to this place. But I'll have the chance. Thanks to you.
There's a parasite nearby. You should take a closer look. What have we here?
Beautiful glaive. So why does touching it give me a knot in my stomach?
Master House must pass this right. Must be time for another.
No more goblins. No more fighting. Just peace.
The air feels different. Colder. Gods will I know you stopped the goblins, but I can't stop looking over my shoulder. Makes it hard to sleep at night.
Making me sweat.
Those tieflings brought nothing but trouble. I'd forgotten how beautiful our grove is.
You have a drink.
I'm fine.
Listen up, Icaron.
No, no, an owlbear.
Toddlers are easier to please than you lot.
Aha! There you are!
Everyone seems to be in high spirits. Strange. You know who I never thought I'd find myself caring for? Exactly right. Never gave them much thought. Certainly not that bunch in the grove. Yet we came through for them. We saved their lives. Odd. That's more easily said by some than others. But nobody's here to debate right from wrong.
Shadowheart trails off and glances around at the party. She turns back to you, mildly surprised you're still there.
I thought you might have wanted to mingle with the others.
Wonderful one indeed. But your deeds loom larger than life now, my friend. You simply must have a title to match. Not to meddle in your side of this partnership, but after all, I'm quite certain I once saw one expire from... No, I'm afraid that won't do. You shall simply have to go out and slay something decidedly more dramatic.
You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here... I hate it. This is awful. True. That was fun. Still, I would have liked more for my trouble than a pat on the head and vinegar for wine.
It's a heavy, rich red. Dry and sharp.
See what I mean? Awful. All I want is a little fun. Is that so much to ask? By the hells. Sex, my dear. A night of passion. Let's wait until things quieten down. Once the others are asleep, we'll find each other. Indeed you will, my love. Indeed you will.
Yes?
Are you planning to share the last of that wine?
No.
How about 2 tiefling queens, frightful and fierce?
That's more like it. How many goblins did we kill? 10?
Beautiful night, don't you think? Nothing like a brush with destruction to make one appreciate the majesty of the celestial canvas. It's a view I would once have shared with my companion, though definitely unaccompanied by such revelry. She preferred it when we were alone, curled up before a crackling hearth with some ancient, esoteric tome between us, ink glinting in the firelight. By a Gerawn's lost nose! No! Tara is not any cat. She's a Tressum. And given your confusion, I'm guessing you've never met one. They're brilliant creatures. Fine company for any self-respecting wizard. She'd be most impressed by our efforts saving these tieflings. Proud, even. And I've given her little to be proud of recently. After I was afflicted with my condition, and locked myself in my tower for an entire year. I was inconsolable, wallowing in my self-inflicted tragedy. I'd given up on myself, but Tara never did. It was her encouragement, her research that led me to my treatment. Once we knew that magically infused items were the key, she went out to find them for me. She saved my life. After so long being cared for by someone else, it feels good to have repaid the favor. Not directly to Tara, but to these poor tieflings. I'm sure she would approve. Smart does her a disservice. She's a fine wizard in her own right, though somewhat held back by her lack of opposable thumbs. You remind me of her somewhat. There's a steeliness in you. An unwavering tenacity, even in the face of, to be frank, quite dire odds. Wish she were here for me to make a formal introduction. But I would never ask her to undertake such a journey. She's safer at home. Besides, she was always telling me I needed to spread my wings, so to speak. Find mortal friends instead of hanging onto Mistra's coattails. So that's what I'm doing. I hope. she'll love you. So long as you don't rub her belly. She hates it when anyone does that. The pleasures I experienced in Mistra's embrace go far beyond the thrill of having one's tummy tickled. I remember once, she took the smallest piece of the weave and made it into... Wait, are you saying... You know what? I think I've clearly had far too much wine. And you've had nowhere near enough. I think this is a conversation best held back on. For now. With my condition as volatile as it is, I fear any undue excitement may tip it over the edge, so to speak. Go. Indulge in the...
You're eager, aren't you? But we need to wait a little longer. Once everyone's in their bedrolls, we'll slip out of ours and find each other.
No time for chat just now.
I should be out there, talking with them. In just a moment, maybe.
We should have had wine more often. We should have had wine more often. More warming than the fire.
Hearts a quiver. Raised bows. None of that poetic stuff. Something like goblins swarmed, but we were brave and fried them all with a thunder wave.
I have seen the Kithraki tear a screaming Nyogi's legs from its belly to fashion into blades. Yet they could not match your nerve today. It was enough to drive me to madness. A pity for us both you've turned your back on me so often. Vlaakith demands of me no less. If only you'd earned the right to lay at my side. Come morning, you will wonder. You will wonder how my lips might have tasted, how my fingers on your skin might have felt. Oh, but do enjoy yourself this night. I intend to myself.
Go on now. Don't waste a night like this talking to me. We'll discuss your problem tomorrow. In truth, I rarely imbibe. The stuff goes right to my head. Before you know it, I'd be breaking into song or declaring love to the first person I laid eyes on. Then you have never heard me singing, which makes you very fortunate. Go on, enjoy yourself.
Our numbers have grown so
Don't worry about me. I'm quite...
Tiefling queens, frightful and fierce.
That's more like it. How many goblins did we kill? 10? Let's make it 20. That's my girl.
The buzz of celebration quiets to a soothing hum as you approach your bunk.
Though you seek repose, you needn't spend the night alone.
There is one who yearns for you in the dark. Who will you seek? Your heart skips a beat. What treasures might this night bestow?
There you are. I've been waiting. Waiting since the moment I set eyes on you. Waiting to have you. You sleep light. I thought you'd be exhausted after last night. I was holding back a little, it's true. I didn't want to lose control. Delicious as you were, I didn't want to go too far. Now, shall we get on? I want to go before anyone else thanks me for saving their tails. It's a poem. A gift from my old master, Cazador. He considered himself quite the artist and used his slaves as a canvas. He composed and carved that one over the course of a night. He made a lot of revisions as he went.
You recall the sharp, complex lines of the script. It was written in the language of the Hells.
Infernal? Who knows? The bastard was insane. Anyway, enough pillow talk. Let's go before the tieflings drag us into another mess.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It may be some time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done. I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous, though it seems you're well accustomed to navigating danger.
We get a cure, and the chance to hit these arseholes where they live. Sounds good.
To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place. This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there. Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls. You're half right. You have to get to Moonrise, but you still have a choice of how to get there. You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the Shadow Curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark. Long ago, a man called Ketheric Thorm built a secret stronghold deep down there, before rallying a whole army of Dark Justiciars, Shah worshippers.
Dark Justiciars. I must see for myself.
Aridin and his lot were looking for a way down there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. And maybe even bypass the worst of the Shadow Curse. Already? If only I'd gone with you instead of Aridin. I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me. I can offer my skills, my counsel. I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. It seems our fates have aligned. May Sylvanas guide us.
I suppose you want to hear about Cazador. I don't want to say a damned thing, but that won't do anyone any good. Cazador Zar is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate, the patriarch of his coven, and a monster obsessed with power. Not political power or military power, I mean power over people. The power to control them completely. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn, and he became my tormentor. He had me go out into Baldur's Gate to fetch him the most beautiful souls I could find. It was a fun little ritual of his. I'd bring them back, and he'd ask if I wanted to dine with him. And if I said yes, he'd serve me a dead, putrid rat. Of course, if I said no, he'd have me flayed. Hard to say which was worse. Thank you. But this isn't about sympathy. It's about knowing what we might be up against. The Mind Flayers aren't the only monsters out there, and they might not be the only ones hunting us. All I'm asking is that you keep your eyes open and watch out for anything lurking in the shadows. What more could I ask? Now, is that all? Then I'll see you tonight, you sweet, generous thing.
Tell me, what can I do for you?
What's the story? Really? Really? Oh, fine. I'll be here eating dirt or whatever.
Isn't it glorious? Karlach's fury is a wonder to behold. It is done. Action, not reaction.
Karlach's all fire and fury. I pray to the Triad it doesn't consume her.
Yeah? Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, start making up for lost time. But not today. Hey, the year, 10 Air. Place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell. Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. What about it? Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots. Granted, the fire lasted a little longer than it should. Engine heats up the whole system enough not to get burned. Hopefully it will hold together long enough to get tuned up. Let's move, huh? I'm running high and in the mood for a fight.
Speak. Shook. You believe you can survive without me? A practical choice. Shook. You, as you say, do...
It's always a pleasure to see you sauntering over. Darling, I thought you'd never ask. Lead on. It's always a pleasure to see you sauntering over. I won't lie. It's tempting. If I keep the tadpole, I risk transforming into a grotesque monster. If I lose the tadpole, Cazador has control of me, body and soul, and I return to the shadows. It's grim either way. So why not sell what's left of my soul to a devil? Better he has it than Cazador. Figuring out what's happening to us, confronting a god called the Absolute, and then finding time to kill my old master before he can control me once more? Yes, that's an option, but I wouldn't bet eternity on it. Yes, darling. Oh, darling, I'm hurt. I thought we had something special. I guess I'll spend my evenings lounging here while you do all the hard work. It sounds awful.
Speak. It is done.
It's not the time.
Tell me, Lae'zel, when you say we might be purified at your creche, what does that mean exactly?
Augusto will affix the Zaithisk, the Purifier, to our heads. Its magic will quell the parasite in an instant.
No traps, please.
Welcome to Joaquin's Rest. West, Baldur's Gate. East, El Terrell. Smoke. Something's burning.
He of the unsleeping eyes, grant me the might to carry this burden. Grant me the faith to face darkness without fear. A massacre. Drow and goblins slaughtered the lot. Please, just leave me be.
I hear shouting. Someone needs help.
Drow Crumpers are rising. It's clear not... Not everyone subscribes to what is mine is yours.
We'll never put this fire out. You're better off helping anyone trapped inside.
Grand Duke Ravengard could be inside. Don't just stand there. Push! Goblins and drow happened. Now push, damn it! Damn! Find another... Grand Duke Ravengard could be inside. Don't just stand there. Push! inside! Hurry! We don't have much time. We hear you! Stay where you are! We don't have much time! Find out!
The heat coming off that door. Opening it could spell trouble.
I'm trapped!
Stop wasting time.
Come! I'm afraid proper thanks must wait.
That might be worth it. Something over there.
Lovely day.
Speak. It is I had assumed a question. Elders, and now this voice, this creed, finds.
Quick! Get me out!
Speak.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it may the journey
We get a cure.
to get to the towers. Any who linger are you're half right. You long ago.
Doc, just...
Aradan, from this, if you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. Already? I would like to... I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. Unfinished business, and a lifetime of regret to repair. I helped overthrow Ketheric Thorm and his Dark Justiciars years ago, but I failed to prevent him from unleashing darkness across the region before he was defeated. I spent years researching the curse, trying to put an end to it. Nothing has worked. Yet, if I can join you and get close to Moonrise, perhaps I can lift this curse. Same as you may find a cure for your infection. Precisely. Then perhaps I could have done something about both the Shadow Curse and Ceremorphosis aberration. But in my eagerness, I put far too much faith in the abilities of Aradin and his band. We didn't even get close. May Sylvanus guide us.
I suppose you want to hear about Cazador. Oh? Then what do you want? Hello, my sweet.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After it may be, the journey
We get a cure.
to get to this curse. Any who linger up. You're half right. You could long ago.
Dark justice?
Aridon and his lot were looking for a way down there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this, if you can find this place, already. I would like to join your camp. I've long sought to return to Moonrise. Unfinished, I helped I spent. If I can join you and get close to Moonrise, perhaps I can lift this curse. Same as precisely. But in my eagerness, I've chosen a successor as first druid, Francesca of the High Forest. A bird's already been dispatched to summon her. I'm glad you approve. I do not truly care if you approve, but I am glad. The Grove needs to move beyond the mistakes of the past. What it needs is an unknown quantity. An outside. This is why I chose Francesca. She will restore simplicity and purity to the Grove in my absence. Resentment will spring up like mushrooms no matter what I do. You cannot please everyone, and you'd be a fool to... Now, we've quite the journey.
I suppose you want to hear about Cazador. I don't want to say a damned thing, but that won't do anyone any good. Cazador Zar is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate, the patriarch of his coven, and a monster obsessed with power. Not political power or military power, I mean power over people. The power to control them completely. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn, and he became my tormentor. Not him, no. A gang of thugs attacked me, angry about a ruling that I'd handed down as magistrate. They beat me to death's door when Cazador appeared. He chased them off and offered to save me, to give me eternal life. Given that my choices were eternal life or bleed to death on the street, I took him up on the offer. It was only afterwards I realized just how long eternity could be. A vampire's spawn is less than a slave. They're a puppet. We have no choice but to obey our master's commands. They speak, and our bodies react. It's all part of the deal. Sometimes he'd order us to submit to torture. Sometimes he'd have us torture ourselves. Whatever his weather-vane mood settled on. Thank you. But this isn't about sympathy. It's about knowing what we might be up against. The Mind Flayers aren't the only monsters out there, and they might not be the only ones hunting us. All I'm asking is that you keep your eyes open and watch out for anything lurking in the shadows. What more could I ask? Now, is that all? I won't lie. It's tempting. If I keep the tadpole, I risk transforming into a grotesque monster. If I lose the tadpole, Cazador has control of me, body and soul. and I return to the shadows. It's grim either way. So why not sell what's left of my soul to a devil? Better he has it than Cazador. Figuring out what's happening to us, confronting a god called the Absolute, and then finding time to kill my old master before he can control me once more? Yes, that's an option, but I wouldn't bet eternity on it. Darling, I thought you'd never ask. I'll see you tonight.